Hello, everybody. Welcome to my women's basketball rantings. This is where I give my thoughts about the happenings in the women's game. If you like this type of content, please like, subscribe, and comment in the comment section below. If you're still listening, welcome. If you're not, welcome. Let's get started. Today, I'm talking March Madness Round 2. Round 2 proved to be even crazier than Round 1, seeing that my bracket was busted right open. So today I'm just going to go over the games, the exciting highlights, and check out where my bracket is, whatever can be salvaged from the bracket. Let's go. Let's start with, of course, the number 1 seed, South Carolina. Oh, that game was rough. It was rough. I was like, what is going on here? At some point, I just had to switch off. It was a very ugly game. South Carolina was struggling to shoot. Miami was struggling to shoot. Everybody was struggling to shoot. It was just a grind. And it wasn't even a grind like the UConn UCF grind was. Like, that one was like, you could see it was exciting, the fast pace. This was just a very funny game. South Carolina, I mean, you got to give it to them. They have their defense locked in. But like I always say, that offense is always going to be their downfall. I honestly don't think their offense can carry them to the Final Four, but it's South Carolina. They've been doing this all season. They have this record for a reason. Let's hope they can put it all together and pull off a win despite their offense not being the best, but their defense is crazy. So let's see how that goes. I didn't watch North Carolina, Arizona. I don't really know much about North Carolina, but apparently they're a very good team. But then they played Georgia Tech and I was not impressed. That's the only North Carolina game. But then they finished Arizona at home. So I was like, is Arizona bad or is North Carolina really, really good? Honestly, I don't know. I really can't say. Creighton and Iowa. Yes, let's talk Creighton, Iowa. The greatest upset since I've been watching NCAA. Because number one, nobody saw it coming. So everybody thought Caitlin Clark was the savior of the world. Like she was going to come in and kill this tournament and be dropping 41 points per game. I think she kind of dropped, she dropped 41 points on Illinois State. So we really thought she was going to kill it. And Creighton shot her down. The most unexpected team. I didn't even know Creighton beating Colorado. That's how funny it is. I thought they were going to be bound because it's Big East. I mean, I saw them play UConn. I was not that impressed. I think UConn gave them like 10 points, maybe 15. Honestly, I can't remember. But I know that they always play UConn and they don't really come out on top. I don't rate Big East teams. I'm sorry. I'm part of the people that don't rate it. Big East is not a cupcake conference. You guys should watch out. They upset Iowa at home in front of a sold-out crowd of 14,000 people, a very hostile crowd. They came in. They handled their business, as in, you can't ask for a better story. It was just, I was shocked. Like, I was shell shocked. I was like, is this going to happen? Because I actually watched that game and I was like, is this going to happen? No, this can't happen. Then Iowa was up by 4 at some point. So I was like, oh yeah, Iowa is up by 4, of course. I mean, you're up by 4 in your home. I mean, it's just normal that you win that game. That's just the way the basketball gods work. But apparently they got another thing coming from a 3 from Lauren Jensen. It was just crazy. It was everything March was about. I still relive that moment. Anyway, Iowa, I like you. But you guys, your season over. It's called March Madness for a reason. You have to come correct. You need more versatile players. You really can't depend on Caitlin Clark and Monica, because people already figured out that their game is going to be an inside out. Caitlin Clark brings it up, sends it to Monica Sinano, she puts it in the paint. I mean, it's if everybody will figure out your strategy, and Creighton figured it out, and Creighton has a very good defense. I think basketball is actually a game of chess, and Creighton's strategy was better. But Iowa was not blown out, it was just by 2. Let's move on. It was great. Moving on to other games, Louisville Gonzaga, I really didn't watch it, so I can't really say much. Belmont, Tennessee, just a 3-point game. I did not watch it, but I heard the game was not that great down the stretch when Tennessee was trying to fight for their Sweet 16 berth. This would have been a very nice, lovely upset. But I said that Tennessee was going to win, but I didn't expect Tennessee to win by such a low margin. Villanova, Michigan, this was a game I really expected Villanova to win, but unfortunately, Michigan will just prove too much for them. Michigan can be good when they want to be good, but the problem with Michigan is that they are very inconsistent. Sometimes they are not good, sometimes they are good. So today, they obviously brought it in. And if they keep bringing it for the rest of the tournament, I see a fight somewhere. I see Elite 8 somewhere in their future. Another upset we could say is similar to the Creighton Iowa. I had Baylor in my Final Four, as you can see. But from the beginning of that game, the vibes were not the vibes. So it wasn't like an upset when it happened. But you could see in Iowa, you could see that Iowa was fighting and fighting and fighting. And then they got the lead. There was just the three that really did them in. It was like South Dakota had their number from the beginning. South Dakota started on an 11-0 run. Baylor could just not respond to that run, and throughout the game they never trailed. They didn't even tie. That's Baylor didn't tie. So you could see that from the beginning of the tip, an upset was coming, and so by the time it happened, you were kind of like, okay, I kind of saw it coming. Even though, of course, Baylor, a lot of people had Baylor in their Final Four, so that like just busted a lot of brackets like wide open. We still didn't expect we weren't really shocked, honestly, because with the way Baylor's season was going, now Lisa Smith is not feeling too good. They really didn't have a strong offense. And when Texas beat them, I kind of knew that, this wasn't right. But I thought they would get it together and things like that. But you could see the cracks already forming at that point. So it wasn't really an upset to me. It really wasn't. This same South Dakota shut down Ole Miss, and now they're shutting down Baylor. And it wasn't even a close game. I was just very disappointed in Baylor. But it wasn't really surprising to me, maybe because, like I said, they didn't have control of the game. So, hey, shit happens. But, this is just sad for Baylor. Baylor used to be a powerhouse, and now they can't get past the Sweet 16. Yeah, my bracket is weird, but I give it to South Dakota. I have no idea who they are. They just came from nowhere. And, they put everybody on notice. So now I'm excited for their next game. So let us quickly go to Stanford and Kansas State. Stanford showed why they are the number one seed. No room for doubt. Lexi All came in and balled out. If Lexi All is another X factor for Stanford, Stanford might just repeat the way I'm looking at it. They have Lexi All, they have Cameron Brink, and they have Ailey Jones. Those are three powerhouse players, and it's going to be very hard to shut those three down at the same time. So and they have some 3-point shooting behind them. So I was very impressed with Stanford. I like people that number one seeds that show that they're number one seeds. Don't come close. You can't even come close. We'll just finish you. So Maryland and Florida Gulf Coast, I was very impressed with Maryland. The way they showed out in that game, very good offensively. Florida Gulf Coast, their style of play is weird. I think they only shoot threes and the rim. That's it. That's all they don't do mid-range. The whole thing was just weird. And they kept shooting threes and it wasn't working. Maryland's defense was really crippling on them. Maryland is not really a defensive team. They really, really went to town on them. But they put some fight. But it wasn't. The game was, I watched it. I think it was happening at the same time with South Carolina. So I had to watch it because South Carolina was such a terrible, terrible game. Okay, Ohio LSU, I didn't watch it, but I'm glad LSU lost. I think Ohio State is a really good team. I picked LSU, and after that Jackson State fiasco, I was like, maybe just LSU is not that great. So, Ohio State, I heard you guys, they are really, really, really stellar. All right, let's move to Utah, Texas. Texas came in and handled their business. Texas is a really, really good team this year. So NC State and Kansas State. NC State is good. As in, don't go there. These guys will probably make the Final Four. In fact, I'm calling it. NC State is going to make the Final Four. Forget UConn. NC State is coming for the crown. Those guys are good. They just kept shooting threes. They did not miss. Like, honestly, I'm not joking. They didn't miss. I'm not saying maybe Kansas State had terrible defense. I don't know what was going on there. I think they shot like 60% from the field. Their rotations were very good. They were very crisp. Even when Eliza Cunane was on the bench with 2 fouls, they didn't even miss a beat. They led from the beginning of the second quarter. The game was over. It was good. I was very impressed. I'm very impressed with them. Notre Dame, another team I'm very impressed with. Notre Dame is also a good team that has come to play. But I always say Notre Dame can be very inconsistent. They seem like a team that has some very, very good pieces, but they are trying to put it all together. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work. But in this game, it really worked. Oklahoma is a 4 seed and they treated them like they were like a 16 seed. I was very impressed. Keep it up. I can't wait for the next round with NC State. So Princeton, Indiana, I didn't watch it, but I'm very surprised that Princeton took Indiana to the wire because I thought Indiana was a very good team. And maybe just Princeton is just a better team. I don't know what happened, but they did win, even by the air on their shoulders. So yeah, so now I'm like questioning Indiana UConn. So then let's go to the fun game, the one I watched from wire to wire. I had a meeting and a presentation the next day. Let's say I had a meeting and presentation at let's say 9 o'clock, and the game in my area was at 2 o'clock, and I watched it. Oh God! And then I had to sleep at like 6 o'clock because I had to read all the pre-game comments, but it was worth it. And then I went for the meeting and I was groggy and I was not. It just messed my whole day up. But it was 100% worth it because normally I don't watch a game. I just sleep up. I sleep and then when I wake up, I watch the games in my free time. But this time I was like, no, I have to see magic happening. I knew UCF was going to be trouble. I knew they were going to be trouble. UConn knew they were going to be trouble. UCF knew they were going to be trouble. UConn fans knew they were going to be trouble. Everybody knew they were going to be trouble. And yes, they were trouble. Honestly, at some point, I was like, is this the end of for UConn? Because you knew what was at stake. The streak was at stake. My bracket was at stake. The world was going to be shocked if UCF pulled it up. And they almost did. It was just a weird game. It was so chippy. It was like everybody came with a chip on their shoulder. UConn was like, oh my God, okay, these people came to play. And then UConn was like, you know what? You want to play dirty? We will play dirty with you. Like, you want to go dirty? We'll go dirty. I like things that like that. Like, sometimes it's not always pretty. You want to go there? We'll go there with you. And that's what happened. They were like, I think there were like 100 jump balls in that situation. There were jump balls. There was like people fighting. Like, I'm surprised blows were not like exchanged in that game. It was crazy. The crowd was hyped. Paige Beckers was hyping the crowd. It was so loud. The games were so weird. They were just, and I didn't understand the missing layups part. UConn just kept missing layups, like point blank. Like, they've missed like 10 points. I were 2 of 9 for layups or 2 of 16. It was one ridiculous number like that. It was like point blank layups. Point blank. I've never seen anything like that before. Like, it was ridiculous. And it wasn't just Doka Uwas, Jusham, Christian Williams, Paige Beckers. All of them were missing layups. I was like, what the hell? Is it the difference? What causes this the mental lapse to happen? Is it the difference? Were they fast? What was going on in that game? It was weird. It was a very weird game. But you could see that UConn kept it together. They had their poise, especially when they went for that 12-0 run. But I wasn't expecting UCF to come back surging. UConn should really, really work on that. All in all, I was very impressed with UConn because this is exactly the type of pressure that Arizona showed them last year, and they just couldn't handle it. But this one, you could see that even though they were rushing their layup, they still made enough plays down the stretch. They kept their calm. They made their free throws. And it was just a very weird and funny game. And now I'm thinking, is UConn good enough to play? Maybe Indiana, yes, but are they good enough to play NC State? Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think UConn is good enough to play NC State. The UConn I saw in the first and second rounds, no. But let's see. I think Paige Beckers is coming back to who she is. So I'd like to see how they do against Indiana. If they lose to Indiana, which I really don't think they will, let's see how it goes. I'm definitely excited for that game. So it was good. I enjoyed it. My game of the week, the games I enjoyed most were probably the ones I watched. So it was probably UCF, UConn, and of course Iowa Creighton. I watched the ending of Baylor South Dakota, but the game was deflated from the beginning, so it wasn't that great. All right, that's it for the matchups. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.